It's the end of the world, or the end of the line. Somehow, human decency has expired and bureaucracy endures. Howdy and welcome back. I'm Mike, your board gaming every dude, and this, my friends, is End of the Line. So, End of the Line is a 3 to 5 player game. That's right, it doesn't have a solo mode, but as you know, I enjoy some party games, so every now and then you see those here. Maybe you enjoy it too. This is coming to crowdfunding on July 9th, I believe, Kickstarter. If not GameFound, the link will be in the description below. I put it in a pinned comment as well. So after you see the game, if you're interested, you can back it. So before we get into that, let me tell you about the game. In End of the Line, each player has a family, and your goal is to be the last player alive with the most family members. The game ends when one player's family is completely dead. Whoever has the most surviving family members, yay, wins the game. And there are some tiebreakers, like whoever has the most resources. In order to survive, you are going to be playing cards in order to stand in line to be able to gather resources to help you endure to the end of the game. Unfortunately, some cards may cause your characters to die, sending you to the graveyard. This is a good time to mention that this is a prototype, so the artwork is not complete. So we see a partially complete one so you can get an idea of the artwork. On the crowdfunding page, there will be more of that. So what you're seeing now is still in the works. On your turn, you're going to pick one of your cards, you're going to play it face down. Everybody's going to do this, and you're going to pick a family member in order to go on that little resource run. Then you're going to pick which line they're going to stand in with your little tokens, but you're secretly going to pick one. So let's say that I pick fuel. I'm going to put that face down, and then at the same time everybody reveals what line they will be standing in for their resource. Starting with the first player, who is the player with the mayor token, you will then go and stand in that line just like this, and the other players will place their cards with their characters on them. After you finish that, you pass your remaining hand to the person to your left, you receive their hand, and repeat the process. You continue this way until a line has as many cards as there are players. Let's pretend this is a 3-player game, and we'll put some other random family members here for example. And let's say 3 players, oh no, 3 cards. Now a line is terminal. The player who is the mayor, I like that rhyme there, is the one who's going to execute the line. So now they flip over cards and do what they say in a given order. If there are any now cards, those go first, then events, and then finally laws. So in this case, they would flip this over and do what it says. All families must pay 1 water. Oh no, that's not good. If I didn't have a water, a character has to die and I would have to send them to the leftmost graveyard. Very sad. We don't want to do that. And then we would flip over another event in this order. Kill the last character in line. Are you kidding me? Oh, poor Toto. Toto goes to the graveyard. That's heartbreaking. And then, of course, a law. Return all boys in the line home. There are no boys in the line. Just 2 moms fighting it out to get this fuel. Now you get to collect resources. If you're at the end of the line, well, they're dead. But if they weren't dead, they don't get to collect a darn thing. If you're up here, congratulations, you get to get a resource. If you're first in line, congratulations, you get to get 2 resources. If you're the one that laid down the law, as soon as you lay down the law, that's right, lay down the law, you get 1 resource. That's how you collect resources. Then everybody goes on their holly jolly way back home, go to the right home. Oh my goodness, trying to steal moms, which you can do in this game. And we go back. If your character was killed during that madness, you get to take one of your cards and you get to tuck it, to keep it, in order to use it later instead of a card from your hand. Also, if you're playing with the full rolls with the black market, you can use it for other stuff like trading. Then we check for line closures. If a graveyard ever has as many dead family members that were killed, it's very sad, I know, as there are players, so in this case 3, that line is immediately closed and you can no longer send people out to get resources there. So, if anybody gets killed after that, congratulations, you go to the next graveyard over. The water line never gets closed. The mayor token gets passed around most turns, though not all. Sometimes it gets flipped to keep and you get to be the mayor for a very long time if you're a good mayor. Once people die, people don't want you mayor anymore and it goes to the next person until all of one player's family members are dead and it's the end of the game. Whoever has the most surviving family members, congratulations, you made it to the end of the line. So as you can tell, this is what some would call a mean game. I will say playing it, it actually didn't feel mean, and a lot of that is because it is dark humor, but the cards, they're so ridiculous. You make these plans and strategies, and you lay out the very best you can, and I won't lie, it's a brain burner. This isn't actually a light game, but because everything gets thrown into chaos when someone else messes with your plan, you just have to have a good sense of humor about it. But you can do what they call hate drafting, where you make sure that the cards that you are giving to your opponent are the cards that you don't want, but be careful. You don't want them to get the cards that you want as well, and you don't always get to tuck unless somebody dies in your family. That's not great. It's a great compensation. Look, there's a lot going on. The golden player count for this game is 4 to 5 players, I'm told. I played it at 3 and 4 players, and I will say 4 players was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. 3 players, it feels like they're still working on it, and the designer said they are, so they're still doing some work to make that feel a little more full. It plays fine, it's not broken, it's just not as full or interesting as when there are 4 players. Now there is the additional, the black market. I didn't talk a lot about it. That is actually part of the full game. However, as we were playing it, we played the full game with the black market, which is after you go through the round, if somebody gets killed, then you go to the black market. You can trade resources if you want. You can trade a lot of resources to get, let me get an art, there we go, an upgrade card, which gives you a special ability. There are extra things you can do. However, we found actually that we enjoyed the game enough. We actually enjoyed it quite a bit without the black market. We rarely used it, and we really only used it to trade resources. So for us, actually, the full game was this, and the black market felt more like a mini expansion that can be added. Haven't used it enough to say anything about balance or anything like that. So it adds a little more to the game, so that's great if you can add it, but I feel it's complete without it. My opinion. If this interests you, if you would have fun playing this, it's important that you back it because it's an indie publisher, so if you don't back it, it's not going to get made. That said, I'm not encouraging anybody to back anything that you don't want. So you don't want it, don't back it. But if you like this video, please do like it and subscribe it. And same thing if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I tried. I did my best. What's coming up on the channel more? Oh my goodness, I've got lots of small reviews, but I've been kind of torn and thinking about doing a tutorial instead. But I do have a board game buyer's guide for 2024 coming up with Jesslyn from Cape Fear Games. So she will be back for more. I love you all. I'll see you next time.